Danielle, I see what you doing. That podcast, that's gonna be big. That's it. I seen it last night. Don't you let nobody discourage. I'll back you. I'll back you.
Welcome back to the Faith and Fun podcast. We're in a different scenery. We're outside. Literally, we're outside. And I have with me somebody who I've been watching on Instagram for so long. She's a local celebrity in my eyes and someone I'm very inspired about. I have with me Kenya.
Hi. Thanks so much for having me.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling
That's good. I'm so
amazing.
glad to have you in the flesh and not on Instagram.
We're supposed to do this a long time ago.
Yes. So, who is Kenya?
Kenya is just a small town girl with big dreams.
Yeah.
Someone who sees what she wants and she goes after it.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't take no for an answer. I hate the word no. I hate being told no. So for me, if there's something that I want to do, I always, if it's not a green light there, I try to create a green light.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. I like that. So, what is Farah Botera Spa Quality Skincare?
Oh, Farrah Botera. That's my passion project.
Mm-hmm.
That was the whole makeup of that product was kind of like a healing thing for me. And it just became something that I feel like everybody should try.
Mm-hmm.
So I was going through like a time in my life where I just needed peace, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I found a lot of peace like going to spas, going to, different places where I can get my massages, my therapy, and things like that. And I was like, man, what if I could put all of this into a bottle and sell it to people?
Yeah.
So I decided to create my own line of skincare, body care. That's what it is. So yeah, I fell in love with aromatherapy, with just traveling to different places in different countries. And I was just like, oh my goodness, like they were literally in nature sourcing like different things, like different herbs and different like lemongrass and you got lavender. It's so many. And I just really fell in love with the way it made me feel. And I was like, what if other people can feel this at home?
Yeah.
So why not just put it into something, package up super nice, and offer it to the public?
Yeah. Hence why we're in nature today. Because this is you, nature.
Yeah, so I love it. I just feel like nature is just another extension of God's creation. Like it is God's creation. So like when you're immersed in it, just like the way it feels, like just being outside, fresh air, sunlight, blue skies, green grass, it's just what more could you ask for?
Yeah. If you could describe your journey in one sentence, what would that sentence be?
God is graceful.
Yeah.
3 words. God is graceful. I feel like he's given me so much grace in the times that I probably didn't deserve it because he's probably like, oh my goodness, she is stubborn. But he was patient with me and it taught me to also be patient with myself. Like things aren't going to always go to plan, but you have to learn to pivot and pivot fast. The faster you pivot and the faster that you grow from whatever it is that you going through or just anything like that, the faster you can get to the place that you're destined to be. I believe that as long as you go through life and you do things with integrity, you treat people with kindness, you try to stick to your word when you can, I feel like things will always continue to work out in your favor. Just treating people right because you just never know what the next person is going through. So I just feel like a little bit of kindness goes a long way. So the way that God has given me grace, I've learned to apply that same grace to other people.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times these days, people are just so quick to get angry, so quick to jump to conclusions. Why not just like extend that grace? And a little bit of grace can just, it's like a domino effect. It goes on and on and on
Yeah.
and on.
Yeah.
So I just feel like, gracefulness, like
Yeah.
it's just been a journey.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm grateful.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Growing up where we're from, coming up where I'm from, Lancaster, South Carolina. What was life like growing up in the big city of LA, where the biggest building is a hospital?
Oh my goodness. Well, it was for me. I had a pretty good childhood. My grandmother raised me, and it's so funny that we're doing this in front of the library. 'Cause I was riding by, I was like, I haven't been to this library since I was a little girl. So I just had a lot of memories here, coming here and getting like books because I used to love to read. I still enjoy reading, but just being here, just my grandmother really took her time with me, like raising me, just trying to keep me on the right path. She kept me in church every Sunday. Like, and then when I got hard headed, I didn't want to go. She still somehow got me into the church. So I I just feel like, going through like adolescence, going through high school and things like that, just really learning myself and trying to choose the right friends and trying to actually dream bigger than my surroundings. Because, Lancaster, it is a small town.
Mm-hmm.
And so sometimes you can get so quick to just like stuck in a box here because you haven't, expanded out or seen anything beyond the same people, the same buildings, and doing the same activity. So I just felt like I had one of two choices. I can either stay the same and stay complacent, or I can take the risk of going to try something new, moving
Mm-hmm.
to a new city, meeting new people, and it just takes a lot of courage and boldness to be able to do that. So yeah, I mean, like there's a small town, but don't take it for granted because I feel like a lot of greatness, such as you,
Mm-hmm.
come from small cities, and yeah, I just thank God like I'm able to, still be able to come back because I still do have
Right.
family here,
Yeah.
and also not forgetting where you come from and feeling like you're too good to come back or too good to spend time with people that
Mm-hmm.
you've been around your whole life. So I just feel like always staying rooted and just remembering where greatness comes from, and just because it's like, some people may call it the hood,
Yeah. Yeah.
or just like, oh, like, so, you know what I mean? I just feel like, this is a part of me. This will
Yeah.
always be a
Yeah.
part of
Yeah.
me. So never feel like that you're just like, oh, forget about it. Forget about my friends and family, and I'll never be back. Because I did think like that on. I'm like, I'm never coming back to that place. But growing from it, and just always remembering like this is home,
Mm-hmm.
and I will always like have a deep respect for this city for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
So, what made you move to Atlanta at 19 years old?
Oh my goodness. So before I moved to Atlanta, I moved to Columbia. So
Mm.
right after graduation, I moved to Columbia, South Carolina. Had one of the best years of my life. I had a good time in Columbia because that was my first year, like really on my own, paying rent at 18 years old, and actually starting my career. So after that year passed, I was like, let's go a little bit bigger next year.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm so eager to reach my goals. So I'm like, okay, let's go to Atlanta. It's like only 3-4 hours
Yeah.
away, and then Atlanta is known for like the black mecca, and it's big in the beauty industry.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, you know what? I saved up some coin. I was like, this, I don't know if this is enough, but we're gonna see. So I was like, let's just go ahead and jump forward. I found a salon that I
Mm-hmm.
feel like I could grow in, and I just took my talents there. And then it just became like a thing, like one client after the other. And then I just always took my values that, my grandmother taught me, like treating people respect,
Mm-hmm.
being, a woman of your word, and that really took me a long way in my career. So having these morals and values, like, you just can't jump into something and think it's going to work out. You
Mm-hmm.
have to take what's right with you, because then people are going to start to trust you. Because if people are spending, hundreds of or thousands of dollars with you, they want to go to somebody who they can trust. So that's how it grew bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So when you moved to Atlanta, were you chasing anything? Money, freedom, purpose?
All of it. I wanted it all. Like, who am I to say? Of course, like, when we're doing something in our career, we're always driven with purpose.
Mm-hmm.
But in the midst of being driven by purpose, the result will be an increase of income. So if you're doing something, with purpose, the money is going to follow regardless.
Mm-hmm.
So don't always go into it, oh yeah, you want the money, but it's like, don't let that be the main reason why you do something. So if you have like a purpose, and you love people, you have like a passion for people, I feel like money will be just one of the results that come from that. So yeah, all
Yeah.
of it. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So how did you get into actually doing hair?
Oh my goodness. So my grandma used to always put these ponytails in my head, and once I became like preteen, I'm like, I don't want to wear the ponytails anymore. So I started doing my own hair, but I always played with my dolls and did their hair. My grandma used to have me put rollers in her hair the night before church. So I'm putting rollers in her hair. And it used to turn out pretty good. And I'm like, okay, So, and then I started doing my own hair, and it, it looked pretty good. It was
Mm-hmm.
good enough for picture days, because I knew I didn't want to go into school with ponytails on picture day in the 7th grade.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was like, okay, let me, see what it's given. So then my friends started asking me, oh, can you do this to my hair really quick? Because I was like doing cheerleading and, step team and stuff like that. I was like, oh, can you like do this, do that? And I never forget, I did my first sew-in with some pack hair I got from the beauty supply store, one of these beauty supply stores. And I charged her $20.
Mm-mm.
Okay, I was like, just give me like $20, girl, whatever. And I was 14 years old. I didn't know what I was doing. I barely knew how to braid. But I was like, oh, like I just got $20. And so then I started just doing like my friends, and then I was like, okay, just give me $20. Just give me $20. And then as time went on, it turned into like, oh, now I'm charging $50. And then it got more from there. So I did cosmetology school at Lancaster Hospital. I did my cosmetology program. I was like one of the best in my class. I was the best.
Mm-hmm.
Not gonna lie.
Clock it,
No
clock
tea,
it,
no
clock
tea,
it.
no shade. I was the best in my class. But I also scored the highest on the state board test as well. I had
Mm-hmm.
one of the highest scores in my class as well. So at that point, like 11th and 12th grade, I was doing the cosmetology program, and my 12th grade, I skipped out on 12th grade prom, so I didn't go to my senior prom because I wanted to just stay behind, and I just did almost everybody's hair for prom.
Mm-hmm.
So I was charging people like $100 at this
Mm-hmm.
time. So taking all of that, I'm like, I just made like a couple $1,000 in the past couple months, like doing hair in 12th grade. Like, no job in the city is paying that much money. And I was like, oh my goodness, this has become like a career for me. So didn't go to prom, but I took that money, and that's the money that I used to move to Columbia. So I was like, so I had a plan. I was like, I'm not gonna go to prom, I'm not gonna spend no money on no dress, no makeup, no hair. I'm gonna just, stay quiet. Y'all go ahead and come on in. I was doing it in the living room, my grandma's living room. And I had a couple cars parked out front, and I was just in here trapping. So yeah, it turned. I got my cosmetology license, moved to Columbia,
Wow.
saved my money, moved to Columbia, and from there to Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So
So
that's
that's
how.
when it started taking off financially. When you
Yeah,
realized, oh, I can make a bag with
I
this.
can make some money from this. So I started helping out my grandma. Moved her into a new place, like moved her up out the hood. I did. it was good. It was a
Yeah,
blessing for
yeah.
sure.
So, what did becoming a quote unquote luxury hair extension specialist look like day
Ooh.
to day?
So I spent a lot of time in the salon, like, you know, I mean, I was hustling and
Mm-hmm.
grinding, right? And this didn't happen until a little bit later in my career, probably like maybe 6 years in. I was like, there's two sides of every career. You can stay the same and do the same services, or you can elevate and start offering more premium services.
Mm.
So that's what I started to do. And I started doing tape and hair extensions. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know if you're familiar with that,
I
but
seen it on your page.
okay, so I started doing like tape and hair extensions. So instead of doing like the basic sew-ins and quick I wanted to give, more of a premium service. So with premium services, you can charge premium prices.
Mm-hmm.
So I started doing that, and then a couple years later, I took a break completely, and that's when I moved abroad. And I knew when I came back, I was like, if I'm gonna come back behind the chair, I need to be doing something that's worth my time.
Yeah.
So I started, offering the very, very, very high end of hair extensions, which is probably the most I've ever charged in my entire career. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So.
So there was a video that you did. I think it was a few years back. I think
Mhm.
you were doing your makeup. I think in Mexico, and you were just saying how you've done it all, and but you kind of aren't fulfilled. You had the high end clients and all of that. When did you realize you weren't necessarily happy?
I wouldn't say I wasn't necessarily happy. I was probably just burnt. I was most likely burned
Mm.
out. I was burned out because I was in the salon every day, just like hustling, and I really didn't have too much time for myself, like to do the things that I really love. I wanted to try new things. I knew that doing hair was not the end all be all
Mm-hmm.
for me. Even though I love it and I love my clients, I love making women feel beautiful and feel good about themselves. Um, and then also too, it's when you're working behind the chair and you're doing hair, that's a big energetic exchange. Like you're really on somebody's crown. They're venting to you. They're telling
Mm.
you just everything about themselves. So sometimes it could be a bit heavy. It can get heavy at some point, and it's like I just needed a break from it all.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I decided to take a break, and then I knew after that break, I wanted to, just try something else. And that's when I felt like I wanted to, pour into myself and, go to spas and relax and just heal from, my grandmother passing and heal from just just a lot of different things. And so that's when the passion project of Fair
mm-hmm.
Terra came when I was in Mexico, and I was like, I can do this, while I'm here.
Yeah,
Why not? It
yeah,
just worked out perfectly. So yeah, I was able to get my break in, and just reset. It was a big reset for me
yeah,
moving to Mexico.
yeah.
Big reset.
So you mentioned in that video trying to fit in with the machines in Atlanta. Can you explain?
Hmm. So Atlanta is very business oriented,
Mm-hmm.
and it's also very urban, and it can be very trendy. So sometimes like fitting in into different circles, social circles or social groups, it's like you have to conform to the way they think or their ideas, or you may not feel accepted. So I was like, you know what, forget all of this. Like I don't fit into none of y'all social groups, to be honest. I'm kind of
Yeah,
like my own like rainbow of a person.
yeah,
So um yeah, I just wanted to really just be who I was and not just conform to one set of people or just a certain stereotype of what being a woman, a black woman in Atlanta would look like. Like
mm-hmm.
I didn't want to just put myself in that category. I feel like I'm very multifaceted. I'm very creative, and I'm also a free thinker as well. So I just didn't want to conform to anything. Conforming just never felt comfortable for me. I
Yeah.
always wanted just to be who I am, not care about what other people think of me. Because sometimes when you navigate life, you always are, you know, want to be care about what people think about you, and that's just not. I don't want to live like that.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I didn't want to fit into
Yeah.
those those ideas of
Hmm.
me or who I was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you lost the two closest people to you. How did that impact
Yes.
you?
Oh, yes. Um, it impacted me a lot because I just didn't understand. I never lost had people close to me like, pass away. So when I when I lost my grandmother, that was the turning point for me because like she raised me from
Hmm.
a child. So it's like this is all I knew. This is like what am I gonna do? Like this is all I know. So I had to really just heal from that. And it took me a couple years. So I feel like healing is a journey and it's never ending. Grief, it comes in waves. So yeah, it was tough, but then once I understood, like really started to understand the circle of life and that the soul never dies, it just transcended, into a spirit, and like God is God is above all of these things, and she's back with the source, like she's back
Hmm.
with God, himself. So I had to find peace with that and just
Yeah.
understand, like, this is not the end. Like she's always here, like in my heart and everything I do. Like I'm always feeling her spirit, her energy. So it took me a long time to heal from that, but yeah,
Yeah.
it
I
takes
like that.
time. And now I use that as motivation to keep going because I know she
Hmm.
would not want me to stop. Like
Hmm.
I just can't just stop here and just stay sad all the time. Like life goes on. You still have a purpose to fulfill. So just keep moving forward. So
Yeah.
anybody who's like grieving and going through like dark times, just remember like life continues. You still have to live your life. Your life, you're still here. And so each day is a gift. So when God blesses you with a new day, don't take it for granted. Because life is long, but it's not long
Hmm.
enough. I don't like to say life is short. It's long, but it's not long enough.
Yeah.
So you just have
Yeah.
to take every day and make the best out of it.
Hmm.
Yes.
So I think it's safe to say that it shifted your perspective on life and success in a whole different way.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like it doesn't matter, how much money you make or,
Hmm.
you know, the things you're able to do. Like I feel like when you wake up and you're able to walk and you have the blessing of being able to do for yourself, that is that is like a true gift in itself. I think that's true wealth right there. Like having a day, like you can't buy more
Hmm.
days.
Hmm.
Money can't buy you more time on earth. So there's so much that money can do. Money can't buy you more time.
Yeah. Yeah. So what did healing look like for you during that time?
Mm, oh man, just hmm. Well, I changed my diet.
Mm.
That's what I did. That's one of the first things I did. I changed the way I ate. Um, so I stopped drinking, like no more alcohol, no more like bad food. I cut out meat from my diet. I
Really?
just went vegan and I wasn't drinking alcohol. So the reason why I did that is because when you're um when you're eating a lot of like food that weighs you down, you can feel heavy, and that also alters the way you think. So I just wanted to feel lighter. I wanted to feel just clean. Like I needed to do a deep internal cleanse, and I needed just to clear my mind. So I took a social media break. I just wanted to heal myself from the inside out, and I did that starting with the food that I ate.
Hmm.
So Yeah, I
Yeah.
went vegan.
I think that's definitely true. Because Tabitha Brown talked about it.
Yeah.
You are what you eat, and
Mhm.
you think how you eat. Because she said she used to be upset all the time after she ate chicken, and then she realized how chicken were killed, and they were in this upset state before they died. And
Mhm.
ever since she stopped eating chicken, she's been, a different person mood wise, and so
Yes,
I believe that.
it's true. And then too, I always say like your gut is your first brain. Your gut and your mind, they work together simultaneously. So when your gut is not clean, and sometimes it can also affect like your discernment, like your gut feeling could be off.
Mm.
I feel like sometimes you feel things in your gut first. So the cleaner your gut is, the better your discernment is here. I feel like your mind and your body work with each other at the same time to connect different pieces and the dots, in life and when you're navigating. So if you're like eating clean, and I feel like your thoughts are clean, it's just everything started to feel better for me,
Hmm.
doing it that way. That's just how it worked for
Yeah,
me.
yeah. So, by purchasing your first home at 22, what did that moment mean to you?
Woo!
Because you built it too, right?
So it was a new construction
Okay.
home, yeah. It was wow, that was one of my biggest accomplishments during that time. I was renting a very expensive apartment and I was spending thousands of dollars
Mm.
on rent. Ooh, child. And I was like, somebody came to me and was like, King, how much you spend on rent? I was like, oh, like about 3,000,
Mm.
something like that. And it was like, girl, I was like, yeah. I was like, why don't you just buy a house? And this was during like COVID. And I
Hmm.
was like, buy a house. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So I guess I'll buy a house. Like, it sounds good to me. Let's do it. So I always save my money. Like I
Hmm.
spend a lot of money, but I save a lot of
Hmm.
money as well. I feel like you spend some, but also put some away. So I did my taxes, and I saved my money, and I looked at probably three houses, and on the fourth one I was like, okay, let's just get this one, whatever. It wasn't built yet, but I was able to see a model home example of it, and I was like, okay, this is cool. Let's do this one. So yeah, I just ended up putting down my what's it called, earnest money or
Hmm.
something like
Hmm.
that, and then I was able to close on it.
Wow.
You know,
That's a
a
blessing.
couple months down the line, it was a blessing the way everything like worked out during that time, and the timing was perfect because the housing market, it wasn't as crazy as it is now back in 2020. So I was able to get a good interest rate. Let's just say
Yeah.
that the interest rate was really good.
So, how did you transition from salon work to private classes?
Okay. I started teaching classes when I was like 18. Yeah. So whenever I started doing hair, people was like, "Oh, how you do that? Can you show me how to do that?" So I started teaching
Hmm.
then, and then when I got into more like advanced like techniques, everybody was like, "Oh, can you show me? Like, I'll pay you.
Hmm.
I'll pay you to show me how to do this." And I was like, "Okay, cool." So I just turned into a thing. Like, you can come learn from me. I'll show you my technique and I'll show you the ropes. And I love teaching. Like, I love showing people how to do something, and then I see them actually doing it for themselves. I'm like, you go, girl. Like, you did that. So I actually find joy in like showing others how to do something, and then watching how that brings them success as well. That actually is fulfilling to me. And then it became like a huge demand for it, and I wasn't able to take a lot of people, so then I switched to online training. So I just record a video and y'all buy the video and then you're able to like watch it and learn like that. But I love in-person interactions.
Wow.
It's really
So,
good.
what made you step into teaching and leadership? Do you think it's always been on you, that leadership role?
I feel like I was called to leadership to a certain extent. Is But you also have a lot of people kind of get confused, like, okay, they want to be a leader, like I'm the leader, but you have to know that in order to lead properly, you also have to be a good student and you
Mm.
have to be a good follower first,
Mm.
because that's how, when you learn true meaning of leadership. If you're willing to be taught, and if you're willing to, you know, be a student first, and then you can really follow by example, and then you can lead by example. So I feel like I had to start as a student, and then I'm able to, step into a leadership role.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. What does soft life mean to you personally now?
soft life? Is life really soft? Is life really soft though? Because I feel like soft life, it can mean a lot of things. Like, I feel like soft life has gotten like a weird definition put behind it, like, oh, I don't do nothing. I just sit here and look cute, and I shop, and I do this. But I feel like to get to a soft life, it takes a lot of hard
Yeah,
work.
you gotta go through a little hard life.
You got to go through the hard life first. I think soft life is a state of mind. It's not necessarily like a lifestyle. It's like really a state of mind, because you can have the appearance of living a soft life, but do you even sleep well at night? Like, are you tormented in your head?
Yeah.
Like, do you have peaceful thoughts? Like, I think soft life starts as a mindset, and then it can reflect in your day-to-day activities, but it really starts like internal.
Yeah,
Like, are
yeah,
you soft on the inside?
yeah,
So,
yeah. January 2024. What made you move to Mexico for a
I'm like,
year?
when I moved to Mexico, I actually moved to Mexico January the 1st. I moved
2024, right? 20,
on New Year. Wait, that was turning 2024, so
yeah, so
23,
2020. Okay, okay.
24, yeah. So before I moved, I became a resident of Mexico, and
Really?
I was a resident of Mexico for, let's see, a year before I moved. Yep, I got my residency first, and then I was like visiting and exploring, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have to pack up and I'm gonna have to move. So literally, I sold everything in my house. I sold all my furniture. I gave away like all my clothes, and then I literally packed four. I got everything down to about 6 suitcases. I left a couple of the suitcases and storage bins at my auntie house, and then I took the other four and I went to Mexico, and then I ended up renting my house out. So that's how I also got into like investing, like real estate investing, is because that house that I purchased in 2020 became like my first rental property. Like, not on purpose, but it became like my first rental property. So I literally just left, and I was like, I'll be back when I get back.
Now, if y'all saw me smile, I didn't see my church member while we filming, so she just
Oh,
over there waving.
oh,
So I was over there waving, and I was
right
trying to be
here.
nice because we was filming.
Oh,
She was up to hey.
oh,
So
that's
were
nice.
you scared to leave everything behind?
No,
I mean, I could tell you packed up 6 suitcases and sold everything.
I wasn't afraid at all. I just knew that, like, I felt when I was in Mexico, I just felt like so like at ease, so calm. Like, who wouldn't? It's really beautiful there.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah.
believe, the things that you hear on the news. And that's another thing. People's like, oh, you moving to Mexico, the car, the car. I don't want you to get flagged, so I'm not gonna say it like that.
The car people.
The tail people. So I'm like, they don't want nothing to do with me. I ain't got nothing they want. And then, oh, they be kidnapping people. They not listen. If they did, they would send me right back.
I mean,
They
because
be
baby, they
like,
kidnapping in Lancaster. They kidnapping in Charlotte. I mean, they kidnapping anywhere. I mean, you
I
can just
feel
be
like
kidnapped.
everywhere is like you're gonna have some type of dangers.
Exactly.
You just really have to be aware of your surroundings and act like that you know where you're at, and learn the language a little bit. Like, I'm not fluent yet, but I know enough to get me around, and so it's just like, don't be green. Don't be green.
Yeah. So, what has living abroad taught you about yourself?
Oh, Let's see. Living abroad, it just gives me like a different outlook on life because I've traveled to quite a few countries, and seeing hearing new languages and seeing new people and actually like respecting their culture
Mm-hmm.
and growing to love other cultures other than mine. um it's just been really eye opening because it's like there's not one way to live or one way to do certain things. It's just so many ways to do things and so many ways to live. And I feel like the Mexican people, they're big on family
Mm-hmm.
and they're big on like hard work, and that really just kind of taught me, work hard, love, live, and they really like to enjoy themselves. And I just was like, oh, y'all are like my cousins at this point, and this is great. And they're so kind, very kind people. Um, yeah, yeah. I feel like what it taught me, but other than what it taught me about myself, is like really just embracing who I am, because I am, even though I'm in a brown country. Um, I didn't feel too far off because we all brown, so I didn't feel too. Other than the language barrier, I didn't feel too far off. But it just taught me to be who I am, and like just be myself, and like people are gonna love you for who you are. They're gonna love you or they're not gonna like you. So
Yeah. Yeah.
just be yourself no matter where you go, even though the environment is super different and kind of could be a culture shock for some. But for me, I feel like Black people and Mexicans are so close, like
Yeah.
very very similar. You'd be quite surprised. So I didn't feel too far off,
So, what's the
that
number
was
one thing living in Mexico taught you that's different from Atlanta?
a lot. It's a big difference. It's a big difference. It depends on what part of Mexico you're in. I feel like in I feel like in places like Mexico City, where it's super super busy, it can be similar to Atlanta because of like maybe the traffic, but I think culture wise, it's very different. Business wise, it's very similar. They're like Mexicans, they hustlers, they're gonna start a business. and
Mm-hmm.
so and
Mm-hmm.
so are people like in Atlanta. So it shares different similarities, but you just have to go for yourself to experience
Yeah.
it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I think everybody's experience can be different, but I may be a little biased because I love it so much, but it's still different, similar but different.
Yeah.
The food is good too,
Yeah.
so good.
I've noticed while studying your profile and learning more about you, a lot of women admire your lifestyle. How does that make you feel?
Mm, um, I don't really look at it like that. Like I don't, I admire other people's lives as well, but I don't know. I just feel like I just stay genuine. I am who I am, and this is really who I am in real
Yeah.
life. Um, I never had to fake a lifestyle, so I can see maybe their admiration could be like, oh, they
Yeah.
can tell that it's genuine.
Yeah.
Um, I appreciate it. Thank you. I didn't realize it. I don't go around and be like, oh, look at me.
Yeah.
And sometimes the attention can be a little bit overwhelming. So I share just a little bit. So
Mm.
I'm still like a big mystery. I just share
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
enough,
Yeah. Yeah.
and not too much. So they know a
Yeah.
little bit about me, but they
Yeah.
don't know everything.
So you never feel pressure to maintain a certain image?
No,
Yeah.
because I don't give it all away online.
Yeah.
I like to keep a lot of that, to myself. So they know the little things about me, which is nice, and I like to keep it like that.
Hmm. So can you share one thing that people do not see behind the scenes?
um, I'm really like I'm really like goofy. Like I love to joke and like I cut up. I love to cut up.
Yeah.
I love to cut up. I love to laugh. So sometimes online I may come across like a little, you know, too serene or too serious sometimes, but I don't be taking a lot of stuff serious. I really cut up and I like to laugh and joke around, and I'm really easygoing too. So
Yeah, yeah,
maybe most people might not know that, but I crack a lot of jokes.
yeah,
I crack a lot of jokes.
yeah. Looking back, what version of yourself are you proud of?
All of them.
Yeah.
All of them, because even though even the versions of me that were not that I didn't like didn't care for, I still appreciate me during that time because I had to go through that to learn and to grow into who I am or who I'm becoming today.
Hmm.
So all of them, like I don't have no regrets in my life,
Wow.
none, no regrets.
Wow. If the 19-year-old could speak to you today, the 19-year-old that moved to Atlanta, what would she say to the Kenya right now?
Ooh, what would she say? Oh man, that 19-year-old kid was she did not care. She was just, girl, she would say, girl, I trust you. I know you're gonna figure it out. But if I could tell myself something, like if I knew today what I knew then, I would tell myself, save more money.
Mm,
Save more money because I would have like invested a lot more than I have today. I've invested a good amount today, but I feel like, don't enjoy yourself, but save as much as you can so you can reinvest it into something that's valuable. I would try to save myself from some bad investments and things that I shouldn't have spent money on. I would have saved that and applied it to more real estate.
yeah,
I would tell myself, like, can you buy more real estate, buy more houses? And so that's something I would tell myself. And also too, but other than that, I wouldn't change. I wouldn't really change anything.
yeah, yeah.
I wouldn't really change anything.
What does the word success mean now?
Success to me means uh, a direct connection with Jesus Christ. That's success.
Yeah,
Because nothing you can't have nothing if you don't have that. I mean, that's real success. Some people may see success as having like your nice cars and your nice houses and going to all these places and stuff like that. But I think success, like after I leave this planet, that's where the truth you're gonna see the true success. So beyond here, you know, these earthly things, it's nice to have nice things. It's nice to be able to go to nice places, and most people may see that as success as having like a lot of money and a lot of attention and things like that. But if I'm not set in the afterlife, like, did any of this matter? Like, what did I do here? Like, what were my fruits here? Like, what did I produce? How many people did I pour into? How many people did I, you know, have a conversation with? How many people did I touch?
yeah,
Like, did I help transform lives or did I just live for myself? Or am I
yeah,
actually, funding the kingdom? Like, am I funding the kingdom to, bring myself closer to God, but am I shining my light on others so they can like be drawn to it? Because like if I'm drawing people my way, essentially they see the light in me and the God in me. I'm not perfect. Don't get me wrong, because like I'm still trying. I be trying not to cuss people out, but but like what are I feel like success is like it really shows up in the afterlife
yeah,
and being able to just be who you were called to be and not being what the world tells you should be.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Did you ever see yourself doing celebrity hair?
Um, I didn't really care about that. That really wasn't like, oh my gosh, I want to do celebrity hair. It just kind of fell into my lap, and when it did, I was very appreciative of them trusting me with such a big event, or you know, trust and loyal me just to come to me and allow me to service them. So I'm grateful for everybody who sat in my chair, whether they're a celebrity or a regular person, because I realized like the real celebrities to me are the people who book me every month.
Mm.
Like, because those are the ones who are like, paying my bills.
Yeah, yeah.
So but anybody who sat in my chair, whether they're a celebrity or a regular person, they all get equal treatment
Yeah,
across the
yeah.
board. I'm not gonna, overextend myself just because somebody is who they are. I just know that I feel like everybody, you're gonna get the same treatment. I'm gonna give you like the same service. So I just try to keep that very, very even. But it's fun. It's
Yeah.
fun.
Do you remember your first celebrity client?
Yeah, my first celebrity client was actually like Cardi B.
Oh.
Yeah, it was my first celebrity client. She's a super amazing woman. I did her like a few times actually. And then yeah, and I did people like Kiki
Yeah.
Palmer, Trina, K
Yeah.
Michelle. Like I really enjoy working with all of those women. I think they're phenomenal women, and it really just shaped my view on what is expected of just a woman and what she really likes and how she likes to be treated, how she likes her hair to be cared for, how does she, just everything, every part of the process. Like I wanted it to be an experience and not just, somebody that is just getting, oh, you just pulling up and doing hair, you know.
If you could give advice to someone who feels successful but unfulfilled, what would you say to them?
Um, Go find a hobby. I feel like a lot of people don't have hobbies no more. Like, I feel like if you can find a hobby, like something that you like to do, it doesn't. A lot of people they sit and they scroll online, or they go to work, they come home and stuff. But finding a hobby and just doing things like I started doing things like painting or
Mm-hmm.
reading or traveling and just doing things that I like to do. I think more people should do that.
Yeah.
Go take a pottery class or something.
Yeah.
Go sit outside and go learn how to swim. A lot of black people don't know how to swim. Y'all need to get out there and learn how to swim.
What's next for you?
Hmm. What's next for me? Chad, hopefully I find a man. Hopefully I find me a man or something, cause it's rough out here. So hopefully I a
Do you
good
want
a good
children?
man.
Do you
Of
want children?
course I want
Okay.
kids. So hopefully that's next. But I mean, if not, I'm just kind of like just enjoying life. I'm
Are your
20
standards
something.
high?
Yeah.
I mean, because they got to be making, more than you and done more, or.
Oh my gosh, I had a conversation. I had a 2-hour conversation about this last night with one of my friends. It's like, does a man have to be making more or doing
Mm-hmm.
more than me for me to submit to him? Yes and no. It's just a lot of things that go into that. That's a whole nother podcast. But
We'll be back for that.
but but I don't feel like he has to be. Yeah, he gotta have some paper.
Got to.
Because I want him to be able to, lead my family in the right direction. I
Yeah.
want him to be able to, first of all, he has to be a man of God, and
Mm-hmm.
I have to see him by his fruits, and I want him to be able to, take care of the household, and I'm working beside him and not over, exceeding him and what he's doing, his side of being a man. But other than that, what's next for me? Traveling more places, buying more real estate. I keep saying real estate because I just feel like real estate is the will fast track your wealth building. So if you if you're blessed enough to save like a down payment on a home, buy a home.
Mm.
Please buy a house. And if you're blessed enough to, continue to acquire more property, I would say that buy a house, live in it, save up some more money, move out, rent that house out, and buy another house,
Mm.
live in it for a year, save up some more money, get another down payment, move in that house, rent that house. I got 2 rental properties.
Teach us the game.
Like
Teach us the
keep
game.
and keep going, like and keep doing that. You know, if you could save a down payment, do that, and that's what's next for me. Is to buy more houses.
Where can people support you, find you on social media, and stay in contact with you?
So we're gonna put my Instagram handle somewhere.
It'll be somewhere in here.
Somewhere down there. But yeah, so you can just find me there. Same thing across all social media platforms. And yeah.
Kenya.
Aww.
Thank you for
having me. This is good. I was like, because I sometimes I get a little too go back to Danielle and let him know I'm gonna be here so I can, do his podcast. It's like, I want to support people the same way they support me. So if I see somebody and they're doing like positive things and they're spreading positivity, why not like extend that? Extend the torch. So
well, thank you. This has been great.
Thank you for having me. I hope y'all could like maybe pick up something from this or learn something from it. But
I believe they'll just enjoy getting to actually know you because so many people want to know you and know the story. Okay. And that's what I was looking for because I was like, has she ever done a podcast? Because I want to know her story.
Yeah, so this will be my second podcast. Mm-hmm. So thank you. Thank you for like being a part of my journey. And thank you for allowing me to be a part of yours as well.
Thank you for getting me outside the box. Literally outside the box.
It was a little dark in the library, so hopefully the audio was good on this.
Yeah.
You're able to do something with it. So we made it work by
We made it work. We didn't spoke to people while filming. People didn't blew the horn, which y'all might see a little bit of everything. Faith and Fun family, thank you for another episode. And until we meet again, have a great one.
Bye.
Danielle, I see what you doing. That podcast, that's gonna be big. That's it. I seen it last night. Don't you let nobody skirt. I'll back you. I'll back